Welcome back. This is page 3 with Sooner Politics Weekend Report. I'm David Venris again. I'm glad you're joining us. The Senate School Board. Yes, we now have a Senate School Board at large governing all of Oklahoma. What am I talking about? Well, I told you I gave the House an A this week, the House of Representatives. Fantastic week. All right? Not so good for the Senate. I give them an F. You heard me. I said an F. Why? Let me tell you about this Senate. I had a lot more expectations for the Senate. Now, there are less than 10 Democrats in the Senate. But the very first bill of any substance that came out of the Senate this year was a Democrat bill. J.J. Dossett of Owasso decided that even though every public school district in Oklahoma has an outright ban on kids bringing vaping devices to school, it wasn't enough. He had to make it a misdemeanor state crime in Oklahoma. You know, this is nonsense to me. And yeah, I tell you, this thing passed overwhelmingly in the Senate Education Committee, went to floor vote, 46-1. One person voted against it. Why did he vote against it? For exactly the right reasons. I want to commend Senator Nathan Dahm for saying this is already covered by the proper governing authorities in the state, each individual school board. The problem with this law is it goes further than just telling kids they broke the law if they bring a vaping device to school. No, it goes to all the faculty, it goes to all guests, parents who come into the school, it goes to delivery drivers hauling in supplies, food to the cafeteria, paper, devices, the mailman. All of these people are now held to a misdemeanor crime if they're caught bringing in these vaping devices. It goes further than that. You go to the football game on Friday night. You're carrying a vape. I don't mean actually using this vaping device. I mean having it in your pocket. You go through a metal detector and it sets off and they're checking you out, you're likely to get arrested. Yeah. What if your church attends Sunday services, maybe this Easter? Sunday services at the high school auditorium. You got visitors there. Yeah, they're likely to get arrested. Folks, this is overkill. This is asinine. Yes, I said asinine, and no, that's not a cuss word. All right? The only vulgarity is what the Senate did this week with this. And I'll tell you why this is especially true. In talking to my family doctor a few weeks ago, we were mentioning some of the new cannabis medicines and how the different delivery of medicines would take place. Some of the medicines are needed for more immediate needs, especially in mental health, anxiety, the veterans with panic attacks, okay? And he said, my doctor said to me, you know, I wouldn't recommend smoking just because, you know, it's a much better delivery to have a more refined device in a vaping pen. And a vaping device would be much better for somebody who needs that. This is very important medicine. It's actually first aid medicine. And why do I say that? I'll tell you why. I live in the Tulsa area. About a year ago, maybe a little more, a veteran up in Owasso who served 3 tours of duty in the Middle East was having a very difficult time. The accumulative effect of all of his service in war zones left him with severe PTSD, anxiety disorder. So much so that he couldn't work. His family was struggling. His wife had to go get a job to hold down. She couldn't miss any more work. He was not doing well. Under the abundance of care for her husband, she called the local police and said, could you do a wellness check on my husband? And they did. As police would do, they knocked on the door and said rather loudly, Owasso police, you know, calling for his name. What did it do? It set him off. He went into flashback. He came to the door with a gun. He's dead now. He needed immediate relief from his severe anxiety. A vaping pen would have been an optimal way to deliver a very good and effective medicine for PTSD. That's just one example. People who can't leave their home without their medicine are likely not to leave their home, especially if leaving their home with their device and the proper delivery method would get them into trouble. This is just another ridiculous layer. It was designed to address kids with their new nicotine craze, using it with nicotine. And yes, that needed to be cracked down on. And the school district was the right level of government, local government, to address it. J.J. Dossett decided to turn our Senate into a giant school board. And you know what? The school board went along with it. Very disappointed. Senate, you got an F this week. And now this message will be back with page 4.